Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab. This episode, and about 3 more to follow, will be a mini book marathon. Come on in and let me share with you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this little mini that you see in front of you, I think is really cute, and what I love is the simplicity of it. This mini happened to have come in a kit from Brenda Pinnock, and this was during her days on QVC. And in one of her kits that she sent out, these little mini albums were part of it. Now, if you're a hardcore scrapper, card maker, bookmaker, then this might be a little simple for you. But if you're just starting out and you want to create some quick and fast mini albums, this is the way to go. Now, as I said, this is from a kit from Brenda Pinnock, and she included in there ideas and inspirations for using everything that came in the kit. And the one thing that I want to focus on are the little mini books. Now, she included 3 different kinds of mini books, but in the kit you receive 2 of each. The colors were just different. So let's go to the kit. One that I just shared with you is called the Ribbon Bound Album Kit. She gave you instructions just for putting it together, and that's the one that I put together here. Everything came like this. It told you which one you were doing, gave you the instructions, and gave you all of the materials inside. So what I've done is taken and measured out the materials, and I thought, well, I can replicate this book, so if there's someone out there starting out, then they can learn how to put together a quick mini album. So first, let's get started with choosing paper, and then we'll talk about the measurements. I think this is a fantastic opportunity to use some of the 8x8 paper pads that you have because of the measurements of this particular little mini book. And I'm using a Heidi Grace one that I picked up at my favorite store, yes, Tuesday Morning, and I love it because it's double-sided. And I get 2 of each one in here. So these are some very lovely papers, and what I trim off I can use as a border accent piece or to make a quick pocket or a tag to coordinate with the book. So I'm going to select a couple of pages out of this so we can get started. I've selected 8 sheets from the Heidi Grace pack, and for my front and back cover I've selected this paper from Basil. It's a little heavier weight, so let's get to some cutting and measuring. I know, your favorite part. When I removed this paper from the pad, I got the ragged edges from where they were torn. That doesn't concern me because I have to cut this down to 6.5, and that'll just be the piece that I cut off. The book measures 8 by 6.5. So I have my 8. Now I just need to take this down and cut it down to 6.5, which means I'm removing 1.5 from this. So that's 1, and I come down to my 6.5 mark, and that's where I make my first cut. There we are. And again, I'm cutting off the selvage part. Of course, these leftover pieces will not be discarded because they're 1.5 inch, and they are perfect for taking some of your Martha Stewart Fiskars punches, EK Success, and punching some designs that can later go across your page or to create a tag. So for now, we'll put those to the side. For my scoring, I am using a Score It board, and I happened to get this at my local thrift store, and I got it for $3. Now we're going to begin with the inside pages, and I want to bring in one of the ones that I got in the kit, and you can see the score lines that are there, and the holes were all pre-done, but we can achieve this ourselves. I'm going to score at the 3/4 mark and the 1.5 inch mark. When you're using the Score It, and I want the 3/4 mark, I am just going to line it up right here at the 3/4 mark. Then you'll place this in so it goes along the metal piece and comes straight down. Now that I have the 3/4 inch mark, I want this leading edge to rest at the 1.5 inch mark because that's where my next one needs to be. And I'll score. And this part is now ready to go. I'm just going to do that to my remaining sheets. Okay, That's the last one. So now we have all of our pages scored, and I have to admit there's one that I messed up on. I don't know what I was doing. Not paying attention, but I scored it in the wrong place. It's not going to really matter because that second score line, you won't see it anyway. Now it's time to put some holes in this puppy. So using my ruler and going in about halfway, I know that I need a hole punched at 1 inch, 3 1/4 inches, and at 5 1/2. Now because I know I need holes on both sides, instead of trying to figure out the measurement on that, I'm simply going to take this piece, fold it, just burnish it down so that I can punch through all 3 of those holes at the same time. And to do that, I am using my Crop-A-Dile, and I'm going to use the larger size hole. So I can look through, see my pencil mark there, and do my hole. They are lined up on both sides so that when I'm ready to thread my ribbon through, it should be easy peasy. Here we are now with all of our holes marked, and as you can see, they align beautifully with the ones that came from Brenda. So now all of the inside pages are completed. Let's go and focus on the cover. Now the one thing that I do love about Brenda's book is that the cover is the exact same size as the inside pages. So why didn't I cut those when I was cutting the rest? This needs to be 6 1/2 by 8. And then my 6 1/2. Now let's score this. And yeah, I know it would have made sense to do it all at one time, but you know, not known for the sense that I have. And now this one is going to get scored a little differently. As you can see, the score marks, or maybe you can't, but I'll try and point it out to you. The score marks, the ridges are up, and that's on the inside. The outside, the ridges are concave. So, and with this, you know, they're both the same, so it really doesn't matter. Score at the 3/4 mark, and the concave will be on the outside, and the convex will be on the inside. Meaning this is now my cover. And for the back one, it's the exact same. Woohoo! Okay, all done with the scoring. Now I can cheat. Since I've already punched this, I can cheat. This is where Brenda explains to you how to fold all of your pages. Going back to the original one, you can see that the spine is pretty thick on there. And that is because what we've done is taken the cover, and I'm going to turn this to you so the left hand is on your side. So what we've done is we've taken this for the front cover, and we fold the first score, this one on your far left, back so that both of these lines, these holes, get aligned. And for your back piece, instead of folding it up, you're actually folding it under, because that's what's going to go underneath all of these. Get them stacked how you want them to be. Use a binder clip on here to hold that together, and then you're going to take about 27 or so inches of ribbon, and if you have a needle, use that. If you don't, do what I'm going to do. And so from the front to the back, you're going to thread the ribbon through the top hole of all of these, leaving about 8 inches hanging above the hole. So now I've left about 8 inches of ribbon not threaded through. So then we're going to take this and come through this center one back to the front. But I can see through my holes, so I'm just going to use this embossing tool to just push my ribbon on through to the other side. And there it is. Now, over here, you're going to go back through this same hole again, but you're going to leave about this much of a loop on top. Okay, so let's pull this. Get my ribbon turned. So this has been threaded back through and I have my loop on top. Now I'm going to take this and thread it from the back to the front. So now that's the back. Flip this over to the front, and I've got a lot more ribbon on this end than I do on the other, and I'll cut that off. But then you're going to take both ends and you're going to place them through that center loop. And then you're just going to give a little pull on either one until that middle knot starts to tighten. Nice and tightly bound, and so you're just going to pull tight and tie your little bow and trim off your ribbon. And you have a cute little mini. As always, thank you for joining me in the Learning Lab. Please be sure to check out my blog, inkillusions.blogspot.com, where you'll find a lot more information and inspiration. So have fun decorating your cute little mini. Until then.